Hey guys, what's up? Another live stream here at Palmer Aquatics, palmeraquatics.com. And tonight we are going to be doing a filter review. A bunch of you guys have been asking me to do more filter reviews, more of like an in-depth dissection. And I guess I really love talking filter talk. So this is absolutely right up my alley. And I have a bunch of filters here tonight. And I'm going to be doing multiple streams on them tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking about the Fluval underwater filter. So this is a cool one. At heart, I'm a Fluval fanboy, and a lot of people, or I should say a lot of more experienced fish keepers kind of like, I know that they think these underwater filters are kind of stupid because, you know, like I look at these and I shrug it off and I'm like, what, you know, it gets the whatever, because it's not like a mainstream, a more like the biggest or most powerful filters you think of when it comes to like smaller filters are obviously the Aquaclear series and the Penguin series. And this specific filter is kind of an underrated beast in my opinion. And let me bring up the chat before I get too in depth here, because I know I want to do some shout outs. And actually I already forgot to add Matt as a moderator. I apologize if you're watching. I know you are, Matt. I promise, next stream. Anyways, bringing up the chat here. All right, we have 26 people watching, and let's see here, who's all here? Matt's Fish Keeping here, Matt's Monster Fish, Aquarium Thoughts, Michigan Aquatics, Hunter, Just My Fish, they're all saying hello. Aqua Noob, Fish Fanatic, Dirty Tankin', I'm trying to wrap presents, laugh aloud, stay put, Palmer. The Novice Aquarius says I've never used one. Okay, so let's talk about this filter. Like I was saying, underwater or internal filters are kind of like looked down upon a little bit by more experienced fish keepers, because I think what grabs people on wanting to buy underwater or in-tank filters are the fact of their tank flooding their house. And I've talked about this before, their house, their apartment, whichever, and it's really unlikely, to be completely honest, because a lot of the hang on the backs have overflows built into them, and even if they were to have some sort of problem, they have an overflow that's built in. But these can still be really powerful filters, and especially this one. Last week I did a review on a close competitor, the Marineland Magnum Polishing internal canister, and they're somewhat similar design. If I were to buy one right off the bat right now, if you're asking my opinion, if you want the short answer, the Fluval is going to be a better out of the box drop in your tank. This is going to be a better setup because it has better media, essentially. It has better media on the inside, but we'll dive into this. All right, so heading up the chat, Gerson says, what's the name of the water pump you use to do water changes? The link never shows up on the chat. Really? I thought I sent you that, or wait, I keep sending people that link to the pump. It seems to be pretty popular. So how can I do this? Okay, let's go to my channel right now. I'm gonna get you this link just because it's been bothering me, and I'm gonna post it right now in the chat. That was my water changer rant video, right? Yes, that's it. Copying and pasting right now. All right, it is going to be posted in the chat. Oh, that's a weird link. Yeah, you're right. The link gets kind of weird, doesn't it? It turns into like this monstrosity of a link. All right, so that link should work. It's like 3 miles long. Or else one of the mods will help. Anyways, back on topic. I gotta stay on topic, guys. This filter, it's kind of a weird looking filter right when I look at it, because it has 2 outputs. A lot of filters don't have 2 outputs, which I find sort of odd. And right when you look at it, it seems kind of small, right? Because when you're thinking media, it's, you know, usually like with a hang-on back filter, the bigger the better, because it's just, you know, you can fit more media in it essentially. All right, so when setting this up, you're gonna buy it and it's gonna come with a bunch of parts, and it's super confusing. I realized that right off the bat. When I bought this, it was a long time ago, and basically I buy filters just to try them out, and sometimes I don't even get around to doing a video on them because I throw them in a box and it just gets, you know, things happen. But anyways, this comes with 3 different cartridges in it, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. And the sides of it are the intake. So the water is going to be pushing in through the sides, each side, and coming out the output. And it's going to suction cup to the side of your tank. So looking at the media, the center of it is ceramic rings. And I really like this. You don't buy filters like this except for Fluval. Like, that's because they know what they're doing. This entire cartridge is filled with ceramic rings. And of course, if you just bought this filter or you're planning on it, these ceramic rings come in a package, and essentially you just you open this up and you put it in there and it goes in the center thing. And on the outsides, this I really like because I'm obsessed with certain sponges, and this happens to be the sponge I'm obsessed with. This is the same sponge that comes in the AquaClear 110. It's a 30 ppi sponge, which it's a little thin in my opinion, and you can see what kind of damage this thing's doing to an aquarium. Like, look at that, that's insane. And essentially, to clean this thing, you can clean the heck when you go to maintenance this, you can clean the heck out of these sponges. You know why? Because all of this biological media is going to save your cycle, and you're going to be pretty much fine. So I'm really happy with this filter, the design of it. This is like I said, this foam is a little thin, but for a smaller tank, you know, this filter is going to be most likely used in anything smaller than a 55-gallon tank, and that's saying a lot for a smaller tank setup. So we'll take this out. This thing's like fossilized in here. Actually, there's different, now that I look more in depth of this, there's different foams on different sides of this. So it's actually pretty cool. It has the 30 ppi sponge, and it has an insert at which you could put a polishing pad on there. So you're getting all different types of media in there. You have the biological and the ceramics, and you have the 30 ppi sponge for like bigger particulates, and then you have the polishing. Like, this has every single thing that I like. My desk is completely covered in fossilized detritus, however you want to say it. I feel like a Neanderthal now. All right, so is it loud? Matt's Fish Keeping says the answer is a simple no. You know why? Because of this tag right here. It says Fluval. Does anything Fluval make loud? No. Their AquaClear 110, smooth as a whistle. The flow of it's perfect. It's absolutely designed crazy good. Their pumps are amazing. Fluval knows what they're doing. I want to look up the price. All right. The price, because the price point is kind of important. So let's go to Amazon, because that's most likely where you're going to buy it. Fluval underwater filter. All right, guys, I'm going to pull up the chat here and read some question here. Matt's Fish Keeping says Penguin is still better though. Yes, I would say the Penguin is more powerful, but for a smaller, I would throw this in a 29-gallon tank and call it good. Like, even a 40 breeder, if you're looking for a smaller filter, I would maybe rather have this running on a 40 breeder than something like a Penguin, you know, what size have you? The 200, the 150, this 80, I don't know what the smaller sizes. But just because I like this, because I haven't got to this yet, but you can also restrict the flow. You can crank it way up, You can crank it way down. And there's another awesome feature. These little things here are, you can change of where the flow goes. You can direct the flow. So that's really cool in my opinion. Say if you had like a certain fish that wanted a dead spot in a tank, you could play around with it. And another cool thing, like a power head, you can add a intake tube, an air tube, and it will blow air out into your tank with the flow, which is extremely beneficial in my opinion. So, okay, let me take a deep breath. It's hot in here, and I'm hitting the chat here. Palmer Aquatics, what would you like me to say the link for the filters as you review them? Yeah, just if people are interested, yeah, that's fine. AquaClear is still better than Penguin. That's true, but like I've said this over and over, they're 2-3 times the cost Michigan Aquatics. So it's, you know, it's all right, let me hit this up, the chat. Interesting nonetheless. This is a powerful little piece of machine here, folks. And oh, what was I doing? I was looking up the price. All right. And it seems there's different sizes here. There's the Fluval U, and it stands for underwater filter. There's a setting of 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I think this is 4. And they recognize the 4 to filter 34 to 65 gallons. That's interesting how they have that number. And then anything down is 24 to 40, 12 to 30, and then 15 and up. I don't know, that's a little confusing to me. But anyways, the cost of this thing is $59.50 right now. So it's $60 on Amazon shipped to your door. I don't know, what can I get a Penguin for? That's a good point. Let's look up the Penguin 150 because I feel like those things are pretty dang cheap. But you have to know, Fluval is the Mercedes of everything in the brand, or everything in this industry essentially. All right, the Marineland Penguin 150 is $11.89. I gotta take the sweatshirt off. I'm dying. The heater's just beating on me. All right. So that is a lot cheaper, if I'm being quite honest. That's almost like, this is why I'm a Penguin fanboy. I can get a 150 for $12 shipped to my door. That's ridiculous. And I can get the Penguin 200 shipped to my door for $16. How can you go wrong with these filters, guys? I have my own hand in my mouth as I'm looking up the prices of these things. Like, what? I could buy 3 or 4 of those things for the price of this. So it's, man, that's crazy. But to be honest, I think the selling point on this filter is that it has the underwater feature going for it. I think that someone looking to be able to turn down the flow, that would be really interesting. But I honestly think the main selling point is just to have it inside the tank. It's an internal filter essentially. So I don't want to diss it too much because I'm kind of a cheap wad and I'm looking for the most bang for my buck. And I just literally told you could buy five of the Penguin 150s for the price of this almost. And it's cool filter. I'll throw a link in the description box if you want to read. It'll be an Amazon link. There's tons of Amazon reviews. There's pictures of these in different size tanks. It does fit in a 10-gallon tank. I did read that because some people were concerned about that. I wouldn't probably get the U4, the Fluval U4 for a 10-gallon tank, but this is all in all I mean, this is a super fancy filter, and it's Fluval. You're getting a brand name. It's probably never going to treat you wrong. You're never going to have cycle problems because when you change this foam, it's going to have all the ceramics keeping your cycle essentially. So it's, I don't know, cool filter. I hope that's enough of a review for you guys. Is the flow too strong for betas? I think this one definitely is, but you can turn it way down, and you can even get the Fluval U1, which would be a better option essentially. So, all right, let's check out this chat. I may have to turn off that heater because I'm getting overheated. All right. The Penguin Company isn't in Australia. Ooh, that sucks, dude. I see it as just a big name. Why pay for a name when you can get something as good and even better for a lot less? Yes, it sucks because I'm doing a review video on this, and if you want my honest opinion, I would buy something cheaper. Same with all the Fluval products. Like, I know the Aqua Clear is the best hang on the back, but I'm not gonna buy them because of the price. I'm just thinking that's a big thing inside a tank. How would you hide it, really? That's a good point as well. Let's talk about the negatives. This thing in your tank looks kind of gaudy. The pads are kind of small. If you have a beautiful planted tank, guys, these things sell like crazy. It blows my mind. That's why I went out and bought it, because I see it in the Facebook groups all over the place. And I'm like, man, what's all the craze about? And people are sincerely afraid of flooding their apartments / homes. And if you keep it all within the tank, you're safe, right? And that's what people are thinking. So what is best filters? Take all the poop of the sand in only 2 days in a 130. Sand tanks suck to pick up a lot of those large particulates. You might want to look into buying the Eheim battery powered gravel vac. That really is helpful for doing that. I have a review video on it. I did like a year ago. Those things are pretty handy, and it's for spot cleaning essentially. I'm probably gonna make a DIY video on creating a mobile spot cleaning gravel vac out of like one of those pumps that I talk about. I want to take a power head and I want to make it easy because I used to have one. Essentially, what you do is you take a gravel vac, you put a power head on it, and for the outlet, you have a little canister that's filled with a bunch of polyfill. And then you plug it in, and as you clean, it keeps the water in your tank just the way it is. But as you spot clean, the power head's sucking it in, and you're spot cleaning, and it's still outputting normal water. It really helps keep your water parameters in check without doing a water change, because a lot of people keep plecos, and those things are insanely messy, and that's where spot cleaning saves your water parameters, and you won't have to do a water change as often. I used to own one. I did a DIY. Instead of buying that $70 Eheim battery powered one, you can do this. So he's off topic again. I'm pretty much done with the review, all right, Michigan Aquatics? I would send it to smack someone on the head and get a hang on the back instead. Do you find the Eheim vac a good value and an effective cleaner? I would say no, because it doesn't have enough power to, it works good, but it doesn't have enough power for like some of the larger like pleco poop. Like if you have a common pleco, some of those poops are like that long, and it doesn't have enough power. That's where if I were to like, I swear I could mainstream a spot cleaner that would be really easy to sell. It's just, I got so much stuff on my list, man, it's crazy. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up and jump into the next live stream on the next filter. I think I'm gonna do the Aquatech from Walmart because, oh no, Chris, one of your plecos got out. Yeah, I don't see any out. You mean out of the, my Pacu eats most of the algae wafers I try to get my pleco to eat. Laugh out loud. Yes, I think I'm going to do the Aquatech because those are the most popular. I mean, not the most popular, but they're super popular, I should say. And they're sold at Walmart, so a lot of people own them. and I'm going to just kind of talk about it. It's not super in depth because it's literally a hang on the back filter with a pump, a canister, and some media it comes with, or I mean, essentially a cartridge. He's white and black on the outside of your tank. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Let me know what you think in the comments section of the Fluval U I guess it's called, this is the U series. There's a U1, a U2, a U3. It's sort of confusing, but then they in general just call it the underwater filter. It's a little confusing to me. I think they just were all over the place with it, but it's essentially the same filter, and it comes in 4 different sizes. Fluval U4, yes. There's the U3. I'm pretty sure this is the U4. And by the way, power usage is 7.5 watts, which isn't that bad, to be completely honest. I think some of the hang on the backs are like, I want to say 15 to 20 watts. You know, you're not talking watts unless you have tons of tanks like me. I've been told multiple times that people don't care about the watts because, you know, I'm just weird like that. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna do the next video here. Stuffed animal. All right, guys, Fluval U3. Let me think. Or what am I even talking about? Let me know what you think.